Alright, another game with the Tyranids in this tournament of 2,000 points. Dawn of War, kill points and objectives. Got a squad of 10 Termagants here, 10 Hormagants with adrenal glands, 10 more Hormagants forming a line, just plain, 10 Gargoyles forming a line, plain as well. Flying Hive Tyrant, 2 Devours with Brain Leech Devours and Haywire Flamer. Has psychic powers that are Onslaught and Catalyst and Dominion. This Hive Tyrant, same loadout, has Dominion, the Horror, and Onslaught. Got a Malanthrope here with an extra card next to it. 3 Biovores. This Flying Hive Tyrant is my Warlord, the big queens. Also the same load as the other two. Has Dominion, Warp Blast, and Warp Scream, Psychic Scream. Yeah, Warp Scream. 2 Carnifexes with 2 sets of Twin Link Devours, 10 Termagants on the side, a Malanthrope, and then inside this bunker I got 3 Warriors and 10 more Hormagants with adrenal glands. These Warriors, the Exocrine and the Biovores form a living artillery node formation. They get Twin Linked and pinning for their blasts. Alright, and for right now, we are going second for the Tyranids. I'll try to seize the initiative. We'll see what happens. Eldar are going first. And, this is 3 objective Maelstrom of War with kill points as well. Okay, this is Volander. We are back with another battle report. We're going to go ahead and talk about the Eldar force. This is round 2. This is 2,000 points. And I'll go ahead and start off, just give it a quick scan of what we have in play. So I'll start off over here. I have 3 jet bikes. One has a scatter laser, and the one right there in the middle, he is a warlock. And behind that troop, that is a wave serpent with a twin linked bright lance. I have a group of Warwalkers. Everyone's decked out with a scatter laser with the exception of one Warwalker, which has a bright lance. In the back I have a Crimson Hunter with an Exarch. I have a group of Wraith Guard with the D cannons right there, group of 5. Right here, these 3 groups, those are my Dire Avenger Shrine. I have the 1 Exarch. In the back, I'll start with these guys right here. Another group of 4, actually 5 jet bikes. One is a Farseer. 2 of those 4 jet bikes have scatter lasers. This group of Swooping Hawks is a third of my Aspect Shrine. So I have that group right there. The group of, right here, Dark Reapers, Warp Spiders with an Exarch. And a group right there of Dark Reapers with an Exarch. And again, that's the Dire Avenger Shrine. And just for right now, I have that Farseer. He's going to be on foot, but he may be with another group. Haven't decided yet. In the back, I have my Warlord, or Lord of War, the Wraith Knight with the twin heavy Wraith cannons. And finally, I have a Wave Serpent there with the twin-linked scatter lasers. So that's my 2,000 points. They'll be playing up against Tyranids, so we'll see what happens. Okay, here we are just to show the layout of where I've placed the Eldar. I have already described my forces, but have the Wave Serpent right there. Inside this Wave Serpent with the Bright Lance are the Wraith Guard. I have my Swooping Hawks, which will be jumping up into ongoing reserve in a second. Right here, I have my Warlord with he's inside that group of Dark Reapers. I have this group of Warwalkers that has yet to do their scout move. I position my Wraith Knight right there. I have my other Farseer with that group of jet bikes right next to that Wave Serpent with a group of Dire Vendors inside that. That's the actual group that has the Exarch. Just to kind of talk about my Warlord powers, I did have Ambush of Blades. This is my Warlord again. He has Eldritch Storm, Guide, Doom, and Mind War. And this one on the bike right here, he has Psychic Scream, he has Terrified, Dominate, and what was the last one? Shrouding. Yeah, that's actually a good one. So I went ahead, Greendawnify did not see his initiative, so I'm going to go ahead and start moving. As far as my objectives, I did get a couple good rolls. I rolled to capture this objective twice, and the other one was capturing this objective. So pretty good shape, and we're going to go into moving and see what happens. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and talk about movement and also my psychic powers. It is night fighting, by the way. Okay, so like I mentioned, my Swooping Hawks jumped into ongoing reserve. I jumped up my Wave Serpent 12 inches right there. These Warwalkers scouted, did their scout move, and then jumped up on top of the building. The Wraith Knight walked right there. These jet bikes with the Farseer moved within 6 inches, and they're right by the building. Over here, my Wave Serpent jumped up right there and trying to be hidden. And as far as psychic abilities, I was able to give this group Shrouding, and this is also shrouded as well. And I was able to guide these Warwalkers. So that is my movement and psychic phase. So we're to go into shooting and see what happens. Okay, roundup of the shooting. Start over here. I shot this Sprite Lance, tried to hurt one of the Malanthropes, nothing happened. Over here, really good shooting with my with my Warwalkers, which were guided, and my Dark Reapers. Actually able to take 4 wounds away from one of the Hive Tyrants, which was not flying, so easier to hit. So that was actually first blood. Last thing I did as far as shooting, I tried to shoot the heavy Wraith cannons at that Endocrine, with the big Tyranid thing, and nothing happened. He made his saves. Everything else, I just moved forward, turbo boosting with that group of jet bikes, and that's really the end of my turn. As far as objectives, I did capture this twice because I had both 15 and 25, and then over here I captured this objective. So 3 objective points and first blood.
Alright, end of my movement and psychic phase. I included my runs as well, so that's why they're really far up at the middle of the board. Almost everything ran except for the Exocrine, the Carnifexes, and the Hive Tyrants, and some of these other shooting like the Biovores and Warriors. For psychic powers, I cast Onslaught onto this Carnifex, so he did run, because he's going to be able to shoot as well. Both these Hive Tyrants are flying, and that was the only power I got off. For objectives, I got to capture 2, which is right here, 1, which is underneath this Hive Tyrant, and I do Blood and Guts. Alright, so I'll be back after shooting. Alright, end of my shooting phase. Killed this Wave Serpent. The Wraith Guard came out, killed all the Dark Reapers with the Farseer, 2 Warwalkers. A lot of help from this Exocrine, who killed a lot with his single blast. Killing 2 Warwalkers, exploding them. Killing a couple more Dark Reapers, and then more dying by the explosion. That was the Warlord Farseer, so he was taken out. A lot of the Twin Link Devourers doing a lot of damage. Over here, 2 bikes were killed by the Biovores. They have to roll a leadership test. They have made it, just barely. And now we're going into Eldar turn 2.
Okay, turn 2 for the Eldar. With my reserves, I got one group of Dire Avengers on. I got the Crimson Hunter on. I got this group of jet bikes on. And I rolled to get my Warp Spiders on. I placed them in the backfield trying to get some shots from behind. They scattered and they moved on top of one of the Hormagaunts, and then they got put into ongoing reserves. These groups of Swooping Hawks, they just came down right there. They're going to shoot and throw a grenade here real quick. As far as movement, I just positioned the two jet bike groups and this Wraith Knight within 6 inches of each other because I got shrouding off, so those 3 groups are shrouded. I moved that Wave Serpent up right there. He swiveled, maybe take some shots. Again, this is where I put the Crimson Hunter. And the only other movement was these Wraith Guard just moved up, tried to take a shot at some things. I do have some objectives. One is Witch Hunter to kill a Psyker, which would be either of these 2 Flying Hive Tyrants. Another one is to kill a monstrous creature, Big Game Hunter. And the last one is to hold the line, which I will definitely get because I have 3 units and no one of my enemy within my 12 inches of my back table edge. So go into shooting and see what happens. Okay, in shooting, start over here. These Dire Avengers were able to kill 3 of these gargoyles. Over here, my Wraith Guard shot but at this monstrous creature, but he had a crazy cover save. This Warwalker shot at one of the last little Termagants. There was actually 1 left because in the course of shooting, the Swooping Hawks took out like 9 of them, and I just finished that off to get the kill point. Other shots right here, my Crimson Hunter took 1 wound away from this Flying Hive Tyrant. He is jinking, he jinked, so he's going to be hitting on 6s next turn. Nothing else was really in range. I shot that Wave Serpent, tried to kill one of these things right here, the gargoyles, but they made their cover save. The one good point is that the Wraith Knight shot and outright killed with his D weapon the Maelstrom, so it's dead. But that's really all that happened, and we'll go into turn 2 for the Termagants, or the Tyranids.
Alright, in the movement phase, moved up everyone basically to the left. Since I've taken out most things in the world, there's nothing really in the right anymore. I'm confronting my new force, or where my enemy is now. Carnifex is moved up. We're going to try to take out these Wraith Guard. On the Psychic phase, I did Warp Blast. I Warp Lance and blew up the Warwalker. Other Psychic phase, I Horde these Dire Avengers. They got pinned. And I did Onslaught on his Exocrine, so he moved and ran, and so he'd still be able to shoot. And everyone just moving to cover up that loss of psychic power, loss of synapse from when my Maelstrom was killed by a D weapon, instant blown up. So now we're going to the shooting phase. This included also some of my running as well. Alright, my shooting phase, shot these Swooping Hawks, put a wound on the XR, killed 2 guys. Over here, killed 4 of the Wraith Guard. 1 Carnifex, the other one didn't do anything. Took out the plane with the help of both my Hive Tyrants, and that was about it for my shooting phase. So these guys gotta take a leadership test, and we'll go into assault phase. Alright, in my assault phase, these Hormagaunts try to charge Swooping Hawks, but they failed. No one died though, the Overwatch good. That was good, but they could not make it into combat. Here, both Carnifexes charged the lone Wraith Guard and killed him by Hammer of Wrath is running him over, trampling his body. Yes. Alright. So now going into Eldar turn 3.
Okay, turn 3, reserve roll. I did get one group of Dire Avengers in. My War Spiders are still not in yet. As far as movement, these Dire Avengers here just shifted. Like I said, this Dire Avenger group came in. Over here, my Warlock and his group just kind of got onto this building. My Wraith Knight shifted up closer to this group of jet bikes. And over here, my Wave Serpent got close to the Warlock. Hopefully I can get shrouding off. And my Swooping Hawks that used to be there, they went back into continuing reserve. And I'm going to go ahead and roll my, for objectives, I still have kill a Psyker, the Witch Hunter, and or kill a monstrous creature. My other objective is to, just kill something. It's like Purge, it's called Purge. So I'm going to go ahead and do my Psychic abilities and then do the shooting.
End of my shooting phase. Biovore shot over here, and with the help of a Hive Tyrant, I killed off the bikes. This Flying Hive Tyrant shot at these bikes, but they made all their saves. And over here, this Carnifex wiped out those Dire Avengers. This Carnifex ran up and captured that objective. And I only got 1 point from Ascendancy, so I only got 2 points this turn, objective 3 and Ascendancy. And so now going into Eldar turn 4.
Okay, fourth turn, beginning of the fourth turn, my War Spiders came in. I placed them right there. I'm going to go ahead and battle focus and try to shoot at those guys right there, the Biovores. I'm trying to capture that location right there. That's one of my objectives. The other one is to kill something in the assault phase. And my last objective is to capture this objective, number 6, which I have. As far as movement, these bikes just got within range of this objective. I jumped my Wraith Knight up on top of this building just to get a clear shot, maybe take a shot at one of those monstrous creatures. Over here, I shifted my Wave Serpent right there. And the last bit of movement right here, just trying to get away. I'm not going to get away from this Carnifex, but I'm just going to try to get a good shot at that right there, the Carnifex. Again, these Swooping Hawks came down. I threw my bomb, did nothing, but I'm going to go ahead and try to shoot at those 3 gargoyles. As far as my psychic powers, I did get off shrouding for both of these groups right here. And I tried Psychic Shriek, but it was denied. So we'll see what happens and come back, and hopefully something happens good for the Eldar. Okay, did some good things here in this turn. When I went ahead and shot at, there was some Biovores up there, 3 of them. The War Spider shot and killed 2 of them, and 1 was left with 2 wounds. And then I took him out with my Wave Serpent, which busted its Serpent Shield. Over here, there was a Carnifex. Again, man, really good rolling for the Wraith Knight. He did his hit on his Destructor weapon and basically just took him out. Over here, the Swooping Hawks shot and killed 2 gargoyles, and these Dire Avengers finished off the last one right there. What else was there? So it's those 3 kill points for those units, and then I did capture this objective right here. So that is the end of my turn. I already did my assault moves. The jet bikes just jumped within 3 inches of that objective. So that is the end of my turn.
Alright, in my movement phase, move these Hormigons. These Hormigons over here, I need to capture this objective. Carnifex moved up, so did the Malanthrope. warriors and termagants moved back to deal with those warp spiders, sort of. These termagants ran over here to capture this objective. Malanthrope followed. These hive tyrants moved to the side. I cast Warp Blast, which missed, and I cast Warp Scream. I took some more wounds from the Wraith Knights down to 3 wounds, and I once again didn't do anything to the Farseer and his guys. So now we're going to do some shooting attacks. Alright, in the shooting phase, I shook the Wave Serpent, but it also jinked, and I took 2 hull points from it, has 1 left. Also wiped out the Swooping Hawks with the Carnifex, and that was it. So now we're going to do some charges. Alright, in the assault phase, which is over here, Hormagaunts took out the Dire Avengers but lost 2 guys. So now going into Eldar turn 5. Also in the shooting, these guys saw the Warp Spiders and they flicker jumped over there, but still within range of some shooting, and 1 guy was killed. So now going into Eldar turn 5.
Okay, start of turn 5 for the Eldar. Did a couple things. I rolled my objectives. I have to capture objective 6 and objective 1. That's not possible. Objective 1 is there. Objective 6 is over there with the jet bike, so I'll probably be able to capture that. I did roll for psychic abilities. I got off Psychic Shriek against this Flying Hive Tyrant. My Warlock the Farseer over there hit him actually on a 6, and he lost a wound to Psychic Shriek, so that's good. Other movement, I went ahead and moved the Wave Serpent there 6 inches. Dire Avengers piled out, and I moved my Wraith Knight right there to within fairly close. See what happens. Maybe I could take this Flying Hive Tyrant out in shooting. If that's the case, maybe I try to make a charge, an assault here, but we'll see what happens, and we'll come back with the shooting phase. Okay, in assault or in shooting, I went ahead and I took 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 4 of the Termagants died. Planning on assaulting them with my Warp Spiders. Over here, shooting. I did all my shots against this Flying Hive Tyrant. Nothing happened in shooting. Basically, I took 1 wound away in Psychic Shriek, but that's all that happened. All the other shots, nothing happened. My Wraith Knight shot at this and shot over there since it's split firing, and now I'm going to try to assault those Hormagaunts. And we'll come back and see what happens. Okay, just to follow up assault move and assaults, I went ahead and did assault move to capture this objective right here with the jet bikes. Unfortunately, I did not make my charge range with the Wraith Knight, so he did not make it to the Hormagaunts. And lastly, over here, I was successful in assaulting in, made the charge, and actually killed 4 of the Termagants. Nothing happened to the Warp Spiders, so that's the end of turn 5.
Alright, end of my movement, psychic phase, and shooting. I forgot to do a lot of things. This guy cast Psychic Scream. Hive Tyrant killed some Dire Avengers, but he perils and put a wound on himself. This Flying Hive Tyrant tried to cast Onslaught on this guy, but failed. Most of my guys moved and ran. He captured this objective. These warriors are going to charge in the assault phase, and these Hormagaunts moved over and going to charge these Dire Avengers. And in shooting, I killed the jet bike, put a wound on the Farseer, and took out this vehicle. So we'll be back after assault. The Dire Avengers did fail their leadership and are falling back right here. And then that's where I'll be charging them from. Alright, in assault, these Hormagaunts wiped out the Dire Avengers and consolidated forward. Over here, my Termagants were killed. My warriors killed 2 Warp Spiders, and it was a tight combat. So we're stuck in combat there. Now we will roll to see if the game ends. Alright, game ends on 1 or 2. So 3s, the game goes on to turn 6.
Okay, so my turn 6, those are locked in combat. Movement, psychic powers. I did get psychic scream off against him, but nothing happened. I got it off, but I couldn't hit. Movement, I just shifted closer to the Hormagaunts. This movement, I just moved onto the cover of this building, and I'm going to go into shooting. As far as objectives, I have Assassinate, which if I kill him, that's an assassinating character. Other than that, I got objectives 1 and 5, which I cannot grab, so I could just potentially do one of the Maelstrom objectives. Okay, over here there's just one Exarch. 2 of his buddies died, and they're still locked in combat. He made his leadership. Over here, with the combination of Stomp and just my normal attacks, I killed 6 or 7 maybe. I don't know how many, but there's 3 left, and they're still locked in combat. Assault moves, I moved my jet bikes into safety, hopefully safety of this bunker, made dangerous terrain tests, and they're good. So it's going to go into turn 6 for the Tyranids.
Alright, end of movement and psychic phase. My objectives I need to capture are objective 2, and also I have domination, and I'm trying to get that. I have to capture every objective on the board here. I'm within 3 inches here. This one, Hormagaunts ran over there, Carnifex moved over there. Hormagaunts ran, captured that one behind that building there. I cannot do anything to this Wraith Knight, sadly. He's in close combat, but I am going to try to take out these bikes that moved into here. I cast Psychic Scream, but invulnerable saves are made by the Farseer to survive its power. And so now we're going to go into the shooting phase. Try to take out the Farseer, and that'll be it. Alright, after the shooting, all those twin link shots finish off the Farseer and his friend. That was the end of my shooting since nothing else was there. So the only assaults we're going to do here, this guy's going to stomp on the little rascals around, little bugs at his feet, and these warriors are going to try to finish off the Exarch Warp Spider. Alright, end of the assault phase. The Wraith Knight killed the remaining Hormagaunts. Over here the warriors put a wound on the Exarch, but he hit and ran out finally. And my warriors consolidated over to the side. It's not going, and we did roll. The game goes on a 4+. And now we're going into Eldar turn 7. Alright, end of Eldar turn 7 movement and shooting, and a little bit into the assault phase. This Warp Spider moved, charged, and shot this guy. Didn't do anything in the shooting phase, but is in a combat with him. We'll see what happens. And over here, this Wraith Knight shot, split fired at this Malanthrope and that Malanthrope, missed both shots, but charged into this Malanthrope and took a wound off of his Hammer of Wrath. And so we'll see what happens in the assault phase.
Okay, assaulting. Did not think it would go into turn 7, so, whatever. He did not survive. He's dead. Over here is some good news. I did take out one of the Malanthropes, kill them with my second of 3 stomps. So he is dead. And really the man of the match, the only one standing, if he survives this turn. But he'll still be the man of the match even if he doesn't survive. But sure, a lot of shots coming his way soon. Coming to turn 7 and the end of the game.
End of my turn, my shooting, my movement, and everything. I perils again with psychic powers, trying to do Psychic Scream. They had no effect, but was shooting. Both these Hive Tyrants shot and was able to take 1 wound off the Wraith Knight. So at the end of the game, that is the end of the game, turn 7. Wraith Knight's the only one standing on the Eldar army with 2 wounds left. Tyranids also lost a bunch of their big guys. Both the Hive Tyrants only have 1 wound left. We're going to calculate the points and come back to see how it went. Alright, end of the game, we have calculated the points. Tyranids had 35 to the Eldar 22 points.
Yeah, so the Eldar had 10 Maelstrom, 10 kill points, and 2 secondary objectives. 2 secondary.
Tyranids had 18 Maelstrom and 14 kill points.
That time you got 6 off. No, you actually got 6 plus another one. You got 6 for domination, and then you got 1.
Yeah, I had to capture, and then I got 2 more later on turn 7.
Yeah, it's just like from turn 4 on, you just rolled just great for your objective things. But you were mobile enough, had enough units to grab things too. So one man standing, but the
biggest man on the board.
Good. You know, he did survive. That's it. You know, the Eldar live to play another turn. They'll be 1-1.
Yeah.
They're not kicked out. The Tyranids will get a bye in the next round.
They're 2-0, so they get a bye. Yeah, they get to move on. The Eldar lose. They go 1-1. They'll fight one of the other armies that are 1-1. The only other one right now is the Orcs, but we're not going to do Eldar versus Orcs again. So the next game we'll play is going to be Chaos Space Marines versus Nova Marines. And whoever loses out of them will fight the the
Eldar will play
the Eldar will play the Tau because the Tau beat the Adeptus Mechanicus, right? So Eldar are gonna fight the Tau next, but the next game we're playing is Chaos Space Marines versus Nova Marines, and whoever wins out of them will get a bye like the Tyranids did, but whoever loses will fight the Orcs
Right.
because
So
the Orcs
that would be the end of this round.
Right.
And then the Tau versus Eldar would be the start of the next round.
All right. So see you for that game. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. We'll be back with more battles.